The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Good morning, YouTube. Hello, everybody. What I'm about to show y'all is scary and the least. It's very important that everyone get this message out to everyone you know. It's very, very important that this goes out to everybody. People, we already are not free. I've been preaching a long time about the Constitution, believing that is screwed up. We've got problems in this country. We've got problems all over the world. It ain't just our country that has this problem. It's the whole world. People, we, the people of this world, need to wake up really, really quick. I mean, the quickest you've ever seen in your whole entire life. We have to wake up. You were born into slavery the day that you're born. And I hope that this is enough proof for y'all. I will provide all the links to the clips that I've got here. Please get this message out. It ain't for me. I don't care about the views. Upload it, reload it if you can, whatever you can do. Favorite it, whatever you can do. Send a message worldwide. This needs to go out. It needs to go out desperately, and it needs to go out fast, and it needs to go out bad. People, they are buying and selling us like we're cattle. Wake up. Please wake up. We have to wake up now before it's too late. They're selling us, buying us from the day we're born, and we think we're free. We're not free, folks. This just ain't right. Consciousness, we're going through a change of consciousness now. If we are, then get this message out. If we're going through consciousness change now, we need to be waking up and transmitting this message across the world. Everywhere you turn, this needs to go out to let people know who we are and what we stand for. And we're not going to stand for this no longer. Occupy people, you need to do the same. God bless y'all. Much love and Christ consciousness. I sure hope you can help us.
Ah, the government. It loves you and wants to keep you safe and well. It even wants to make paying taxes, fines, and court costs easier for you. How? Well, you'll need to meet your straw man. He was born the same day you were. He looks like you, has the same name, and lives in your house, but you never knew he existed. You will have even paid his parking tickets or taxes. The worst part? He's been dead from day one. From every birth certificate, a legal personality, or legal fiction, is created with the same name to confuse little old you into thinking it's you. So, there is a human you and a paper you, or as it's commonly known, a straw man. So when it seems like government officials, court clerks, or the police are speaking English, they aren't. They're speaking legalese, designed to make you agree to verbal and written contracts without even knowing about it, all spun from Black's Law Dictionary. For example, when the police say, "Do you understand?" you'll say, "Yes." What they are really saying is, "Do you stand under our authority?" Oops-a-daisy, you just created a verbal contract with them. Oh, you clever government. Did you know that whenever you register something, you are handing over title to the person you register it with? That's right. Whenever you register something with the government, they assume it belongs to them. Registered your car? Super! Now you are the registered keeper of your vehicle, and the government can crush it when you don't pay your, straw man's taxes. Expecting a new bundle of joy? Well then you need to register your little darling with a birth certificate. Then they can start the process all over again and create a new straw man for your little one. Isn't that great? So when Junior grows up, he'll be able to generate revenue just like you have. When you notify on your baby by signing the birth certificate, your child becomes a ward of state. And if the government doesn't like what you're doing, they'll assume it's okay to take the child away or make new rules for things they don't like. Not enough school? Smacking your child? Shouting too loudly? And it's off to social services for the little one. When you get a bill, it's sent to you but belongs to your straw man, not you. That's why bills, fines, and summons start with Mr., Mrs., or Ms. Sometimes you'll see your surname in capitals, just like on a gravestone. That's because your straw man is dead and just a silly piece of paper, created before you could comprehend or even consent to it. When you go to court, you represent your straw man. So you, the human, take on any costs, fees, taxes, and fines involved for the straw man. The human you doesn't even need to pay them. But you made a contract with the court by appearing on behalf of your legal personality or straw man, just like the government knew you would. Confused? Well, don't worry. The government doesn't want you to know anyway. If you knew, you'd stop paying things like council tax and parking tickets. Because when you go to court, you are representing your straw man. You are you, alive and made of flesh and blood. Your straw man, or legal personality, is a piece of paper created from your birth certificate. And you think it's you. What a silly Billy.
This is a certified true copy of my live statement of birth. You can get this by applying for it at the Registrar General. They'll give it to you. And it's very interesting because this is where it all began. This is the foundation document. All identification is generated from this document. And so if the foundation document is no good, anything that's made from it is no good. That means driver's licenses, health cards, everything. Now what they did here, this is exactly what he meant when he said, soon every American will be required to register their biological property. Now your parents didn't realize what they were doing when they filled this out, and these didn't exist before 1933. Birth records were recorded in scripture. And these only came into being in 1933 when they hatched this plan. They created a corporate fiction with a name just like yours. In doing this, they registered and monetized the spirit and soul of a living being. This denotes ownership. And when your parents were tricked into filling this out, they allowed your spirit and your soul to be monetized. And futures were sold on you.
Spirit and soul, I don't...
Now, this is my birth certificate. This is actually a share. See this red number? This A, I'm born in Canada, this is a Class A share. Now, this is called a CUSP number, and all securities require a CUSP number, and that's what this is. And you are held as collateral to secure the debt, which our government owes to international bankers. So you and me and all these people here are actually collateral, and we don't even own our lives. We are chattel, and we believe we're free. I made an application to the Registrar General, and I got my original social insurance application. Now, before they sent it to me, they put a little piece of paper over this before they photocopied it, because my friend has his, and they didn't block this out, and when you hold it up, you see Bank of Canada. It is said that the best slaves are the ones who don't know that they're enslaved, and we all have invisible chains on us, and we don't know it.
What truth? That you are a slave here. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. going into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
We're talking about big bucks. We're not talking about hundreds of millions or even hundreds of billions now. We're talking about trillions of dollars. The obligation is immeasurable. Nobody can measure it.
This door's wide open now. It's gonna happen, whether you like it or not.
Do you notice that they have the same amount of ink on them? Do you notice that they're made out of the same virtually worthless stuff? It's paper. Did you get it? It's paper. When we create money, we have created an instrument of value that has no value of its own. And it's just as expensive or inexpensive to print the 20 as it is to print the 1. In January of 1913, in December of 1913, he signed the Federal Reserve Act, bringing the Federal Reserve System into place in America, and did what Thomas Jefferson said must never happen. He took the control of the money away from the people by taking it away from the Congress and gave it to a group of private individuals who have to pay taxes on the money they loan the government.
And that article, and why are we in Iraq? We want them to accept the article. Why are we in Iran? We want them to accept the article. I mean, why are we threatening Iran? We want them to accept the article. There's a few countries in Africa that won't accept it. But here's the article. The article is general obligation of members. Now we know why we're in Afghanistan. Now we know why we're in messing with Iran. See, what happened was, the country goes bankrupt. So guess what? They say, well, we'll loan you money, but we need your gold. So the U.S. put their gold in Fort Knox, and that was their backup. So then they bankrupt them again. Well, we got all your gold, so now what are you going to do? Well, we'll let you have the birth certificates of the people, and every time somebody goes to work, you get a payment. Okay, give us the birth certificates. So then they go to these other countries, and they say, all these other countries, they bankrupt them. You know, they just took in...
trade the value of men and women on the stock exchange. When every man or woman is born at birth, that birth registry is taken through to the Department of Finance, and through Treasury is registered and bonded as an entity, a commercial entity. It becomes a security. The paper which with the birth certificate is printed on banknote paper. In Canada, this is a fact. Canadian Banknote Company makes the banknote paper for all of the instruments that are used for securities and have value, and the birth certificate is one of those instruments. It
really look like it's part of the company, really.
Okay. But it is something that's listed on the stock exchange as K...
Yeah, it does pull up under that.
And does it have a value associated with it?
Yes, but I don't think this is correct. I don't even think that it actually... I mean, it's saying that it's $1 million, which is not right.
Why would that be incorrect in your estimation?
Well, because it's showing underneath that 0%, and it's not showing anything that it closed on. So if it existed, it would have closed on an amount from yesterday.
But it's saying that it is on the stock exchange, and that's claiming that it's $1 million in value?
Yes.
That is, except one. Alone, this guardian entered the forbidden chamber. He wanted to prove the light of fear could be mastered. His intentions were pure, but his hopes were naive. Consumed by the yellow power of fear, the Guardian became the very evil he had wished to destroy. He became Parallax.